Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. As you guys already can see, I changed the scenario. I moved from my old apartment to this one, so I tried to create a more interesting scenario for my videos. So I put this wall sticker, as you guys can see behind me. I also put this wall picture, which has a great meaning for me because it was created by a friend. He put it our first flight flying together while I was operating the flight as a cabin crew, and he was as a passenger with my husband. So he write it right here, our first flight together, the date, which was 21st February, 1:25 a.m. from Guarulhos International Airport in Brazil, and EK 262. So it was very interesting, you know, like I love it. I also put these fake plants right here with some pictures from me and my husband and some souvenirs. So welcome to my new scenario. Well, today's video I'm gonna talk about why it's so hard to resign from Emirates. I think it's a kind of topic that you guys never heard about it. I'm gonna explain my experience before I resign, how was my feelings, my thoughts, you know, why it wasn't easy for me even though I was decided about my decision. I'm gonna also share some of my colleagues' comments from our Facebook group. Of course, I will not share any names, but I'm gonna share their thoughts, their feelings, what they think about it, whether they regret it or not about the decision, how they are now after resigning from Emirates, and all this kind of stuff. So first of all, I'm gonna share how was the moments before I pressed the send button. Because trust me guys, it's very hard to press the send button. I remember the previous moments before I sent my resignation email to my manager. I started to have a mixed emotion, you know. I started to feel anxiety. I was feeling scared, lost, you know, thinking about the lifestyle and benefits I would lose once I resigned. And then I cried a lot. I cried like a baby, you know. And we all, as a cabin crew here at Emirates at least, share the same thoughts, the same feelings, you know. Doesn't matter if you love the job or you hate the job. Once you decided to resign, you start feeling all those feelings and the thoughts and the worries about the future, you know. So I remember I was praying to God. I was like asking for God to guide me, to bring me peace to my heart, because even though I was decided to take this decision, because I was suffering from medical issues that I already explained to you guys here, even though I was suffering with the negative sides of the job and the company, even though all this, you know, it was hard. Like, I've never thought it would be so hard like it was. I remember after some times, you know, praying, crying, overthinking, I was brave enough to press the send button. And then after that, I started to feel relieved, you know. I started to feel freedom again. I don't know, it was a very good feeling actually. And on the next day, I was trying to overcome, let's say. I've got an email from my manager, and I didn't expect that she would say what she said. She says sorry, and she also asked me if there was anything that she could do to change my mind. At that moment, I was shocked because I've never expected this attitude from her, you know. First, because the company don't care if you resign, you know. I remember that the time I resigned, there were a lot of colleagues resigning, like all the time, and the company was with shortage of crew. So she told me this, and at first I didn't thought like, oh, the company value me as a professional, the company likes me and wants to keep me here. No, because I know the company values, you know, but she wanted to keep me because they were in need of crew, you know. So she knew that I was about to finish my first 3 years of contract, and then if I managed to finish my contract, I would get my bonus, which was like very beneficial for me to stay like a little bit longer, and also for the company because they would have one more crew like for a little bit longer. So she tried to convince me to stay, and then of course I started to be in doubt about my decision, you know, because at that point I didn't find out what I had, you know, why I was feeling that hard pain on my feet. I had like many medical exams, as I told you, but I didn't find out. So she gave me 2 days to think about it, you know, and then decided if I really want to resign, she would proceed, you know, with the resignation process. But if I didn't want to resign at that time and wanted to wait at least till December till I finish my 3 years contract, she wouldn't continue, you know. So I thought for these 2 days, and I talked to my colleagues, you know, I got some other opinions about my situation, and then I decided to stay a little bit longer, trying to find out what's the cause from my pain, and if I could like manage to solve them to at least stay till complete my 3 years. But I didn't find out. I was almost reaching the 3 months long-term sickness, which was the maximum I could stay, you know, so I really decided to resign. So on November, yes, I sent my resignation email, and I really decided to resign at that moment. So it was a very hard decision. You guys know it was my dream job. I worked very hard to get this job, you know, like I've learned English by myself for more than like 2 years studying, you know, like doing my best to prepare myself like professionally to be approved on the Emirates process and be a cabin crew. And also I got so disappointed working here because of many negative things, you know, because of the exhaustion of the job, you know, and many other things that I already talked with you about it. But yeah, even though all these things, you know, it was hard because you are brainwashed when you start at training college, you know, like the company makes you feel like Emirates, it's the best company in the world, you know, this is the best job in the world, you know, like you have perks, like benefits that you will not find in any other company. So you start thinking that you'll not be able to travel as much as you can through this job again. You start thinking that the salary you get through this job, it's so good that you won't get in any other job. You start thinking that all of those amazing experiences you have, you will not have the opportunity in any other job. So these kind of things, you know, the company makes you believe in that, and then this is make the decision of leaving harder, you know. You're very used to a non-routine job, you know, to a non-office job. So you were always flying, you know, like all over the world. You were always working with different colleagues, you know, you don't have like a routine. So once you start thinking about resigning, it means that you have to adjust yourself to work on ground again, you know, to an office job, to a routine, you know, like to not travel as often as you travel while you were a cabin crew. So you start to overthink about all those thoughts. That's very hard, and all of our colleagues experienced the same thoughts, the same feelings, you know, once they decided to resign. So now I'm gonna share some of my colleagues' comments on our Facebook group. Of course, I will not share any names. I will just address it by a person. So I'm gonna read some of their reasons why they resigned from Emirates, what they think about it, whether they regret or not about the decision of leaving, and how they are now after Emirates. So the first person said the reasons why she resigned. For me, exhaustion both mentally and physically. I've worked as a manager role back home for 6 years previous, and even then I never felt half as exhausted as I do now. No matter what kind of routine I try to get down, no matter how much I sleep, what I eat, what supplements I try to take, try to exercise, anything, nothing helps with the sheer exhaustion I've faced. Dubai isn't home for me either. I've never felt like I found my feet, even through swapping accommodations 3 times in the last year or so. I've never found my place. Yes, I could just live out and pay for my own place, but the money side of that just wasn't realistic for me at this point. I don't have anything lined up for going home. I'm completely winging this whole thing in hope that when I get home, I will find my feet again. It takes a lot, trust me. Once I sent the email, I felt instant regret. My friends I have here are more than friends, but like family. It will kill me to leave those people and have to live back home almost completely on my own. But I truly believe that for my own health and well-being, I need to make this step. Maybe I'll end up back in Dubai next year again. Maybe I will end up just staying home, or maybe I'll end up somewhere beautiful like in Australia. The second person said, life is a whole book. Emirates is just one chapter. Read it, enjoy it, and move on to the next one. Another person said, my priorities changed. I want to get a house, have kids, etc. It was hard to send that email because in the 6 weeks leading up to me actually leaving, I cried and cried and cried more. The first 6 months at home was hard, and every sentence was to buy this, to buy that, and Emirates this and Emirates that. But then it slowly got easier, and now a year on, it just seems like a distant holiday. Coming from the UK, I miss the weather and a few people, but that's it. Another person. Main reason for me was I wanted to have a family, so back home the life is much better than in Dubai, but also I was always sick and exhausted. Another person said, horrific work-life balance, constant exhaustion, and absolutely terrible. One more person said, I will tell you something. When I sent the email, I felt like for the first time after 4 years, I breathed good. Yes, I was scared, I was crying, I couldn't sleep for almost 2 days before sending that email. But I was asking myself, do you really want to stay here? Do you really love this job? The answer was a big no. So I said, if I didn't do it now, I was stuck forever. It's hard to be in this lifestyle and then you move to a different thing. I was sad at the beginning. I didn't know what to do. Even I was having another job and everything, but I was so scared that I will regret. And believe me, never happened. Was the best decision I took in my life. When I see my friends' roster now or how they are living, I feel so relieved. Another person. I think everyone feels different, but from what I've known and from my personal experience, I can say many of us ended up feeling hopeless, depressed, and stuck in this job. I have no explanation why this happened, but I guess in this time you spend actually locked in these aircrafts. The fact you are constantly changing time zones and your body and mind suffer continuously. It's just not a healthy job. That's why it's well paid. Resigning was a really difficult decision that I had to take, but I didn't regret it, even for a second. My current job is really not well paid compared to what I used to earn as a cabin crew, but I'm feeling 100 times happier right now. When I resigned and came back home, I was a wreck. Now I have energy and time to do the things that I really want to. I never realized how this job was taking my freedom and sucking the life out of me. But again, it's different for everyone. Another person. This company has marketing and makes you believe this job is good. Makes everyone believes it, when in reality it's not. Another person, I can guarantee you the hardest part was clicking the send button. I agree. After that part, it was a feeling of relief and hopeful for the future. Exactly. Another person, life after Emirates is amazing. For the last couple of months on the job, I felt numb, exhausted, no willingness to do anything. Even when I was spending time with family and friends, I felt like my head was not there. I moved to Bali, cried a lot of happy tears, some sad ones too, because at some point I did feel a bit lost. I'm currently living with a lower income, but I'm way happier than I was with Emirates. Emirates gets you to a very comfort place and you feel like nothing else out there will be that great. But it will, better actually. Another person. There is definitely life after AK. Just do whatever your body and heart tells you. I was struggling with this decision for about 3-4 years and left after 5. Resigned and took a break from work for about 6 months. Then I got a job. Was lucky because I have an amazing team. Salary, of course, is not the same as you will earn with Emirates, but is money everything in this life? I get to spend time with my dog every day, plan trips with friends, no matter if they work as crew or not, stays the same. If you ask me if I got bored of routine, I didn't even have a time for this. There's so many beautiful moments going on. I agree. Another person. I was with the company for 5 years. I left 2 years ago and I landed in Sydney. A month before, the world shut down. Despite the pandemic affecting my integration back home, I'm so happy with life now. Of course, I miss exploring the world, nice hotels, allowances, and the fancy lifestyles Dubai has to offer. Nothing beats living back home in Australia. Embracing nature, having a social life, a regular sleeping pattern, as well, nothing can replace the feeling of attending all the birthdays and social events we previously missed out on. I still miss the lifestyle from time to time, but I do not miss the company and the toxic environment we were forced to work in. Earning a decent salary back home with colleagues and managers that support me. I believe my life truly started when I left Emirates, but forever grateful for the experiences. Another person, this is the reasons why she resigned from Emirates. I feel tired all the time. Traveling is not exciting for me anymore. We get to meet new people all the time, yet I feel lonely. This list can go on, but these are the main reasons. One more person. I was flying too much and missing out too much on my family, one child. Tired all the time, at times probably depressed, not getting leave with my family, impossible to get school holidays off. I've done 15 years and 5 months. Purser resigned at 38 years old. No other plans yet. My goal is to take care of my health, recover from all the flying, spend time with my husband and son. Another person, work felt pointless, like nothing I was doing in that aircraft had any meaning and I felt empty, constantly too tired to function and too anxious because sleep was affected and jet lag was overwhelming. I had something else that I wanted to pursue and felt like I couldn't dedicate my time to it as I was either flying or trying to sleep for a flight or passed out sleeping after a flight and so on. I could keep going on. One more person. I was constantly tired and felt like going for flights was the only thing I was able to achieve in my life. I flew for 5 years and just stopped having extra activities, even go to the gym, because I had to get some sleep to barely function. My mood was also really bad and I had bits of depression, if I can call it like that. Not getting flights I paid for, not getting enough days off, etc. Another person, too tired all the time, crying before night flights, not my job life, need to move on ASAP, or it would become too late. Not motivated and excited anymore, and need a job where I'm a person and not a number. One more, too tired, fatigue, no more excitement in life, and ended up with anxiety and depression. No career growth, we learn nothing from the company, hard physically job. And one more person, depression. I had to leave it as it was too hard to recover from with the erratic sleep pattern and jet lag and the stressful toxic work environment. I would have left a year later anyway, because I couldn't live with the lack of sleep and no energy. Job is too repetitive, dreaded every flight, anxiety before every flight. Another one, I was feeling tired the whole time that I wasn't motivated to do anything but sleeping. I was bored at work and I couldn't see the future with this job. I wasn't able to enjoy the good side of this job anymore. For example, layover, traveling on low cost, etc. However, I'm still very grateful for this experience, which is indeed very unique, but I feel it has that reached and limit. Another person, the work culture became very toxic. One more person, totally no regrets. I feel like a human again. One more person, I think I would regret more if I did not make that decision. Now I'm with my partner, get a new job, start my education again soon, and my health has been improved significantly. Trust me, we have missed so much as a crew living in Dubai. It's like living in an artificial bubble. Another person, I feel alive again, best decision. One more, no regrets at all. I missed the 26th of the month for sure, which was the date of our salary payment. But the stress-free, no makeup, sleeping at night like a normal person, no pressure, and CSV, best decision ever. One more person, I love waking up rested and going to sleep at a human time. I totally agree with all this. So that's it, guys. I completely agree with all of my colleagues' comments right here, because I have no regret of my decision, you know, like, of course, I feel very grateful for the opportunity, you know, like, working as a cabin crew for one of the biggest airlines in the world has changed my life forever, you know, so I'm very grateful, but I have no regret of leaving, you know, like, now I'm feeling happier than ever, I swear, guys. Going to sleep at the same time, wake up at the same time, you know, being able to go to the gym, eat healthier, you know, like, I feel like much better. That's why I don't want to fly anymore. I don't want to be crew anymore, you know. I think I just closed this chapter on my life, so yeah, it was hard. I remember when I went back to the company to give back all the documents, license, uniforms, you know, it was a very emotional moment for me. I cried a lot because it's not easy to close a chapter in your life, you know, but it's worth it. Now, like, I'm feeling very happy, you know. So that's something that the cabin crew usually don't share, but I think it's a very interesting fact to share, you know, for you guys have a notion, for you guys know how is this moment for us, you know, that even though all the negative points, it's a very hard decision to take, but once you embrace the new challenges, you know, like your new future, you will start to feel relieved, you start to feel like a human again, you start to be excited about your next chapter in life, you know. So it's great, it's amazing, you know, like all of these feelings, these mixed feelings, you know, it's great. I always say that this experience is really worth it, you know, even though the hard part, even though the challenges, the negative side, you know, it's worth it. I'm very grateful for that. I'm very grateful for being able to be a cabin crew one day, you know, but it has come to an end. I'm happy, that's life, you know, like you close one chapter to start writing a new one. So that's it, guys. Hope you guys have enjoyed and hope to see you soon in the next video. Kisses, bye bye.